It's Cowboy Coffee time. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing good today. Hope you got your coffee boiling and your beans bubbling today. Life is good. We start another day. And got the good coffee beans going. We're getting through the winter. We're actually having a winter where we live. Sometimes in Middle Tennessee, we don't get the winter that I like. We've had three snows in a few weeks, and actually a lot of fun. I like snow and enjoy it. Got out, played in it, messed around, hiked around. Me and Miss Laurie got out and fished the other day. We got out and had a good time by the water, and getting out of the house, get out where you can breathe some fresh air. I didn't figure I'd get on a fish, but I have done it. I wasn't in a good spot, just bank fishing there, but just being there is the thing. But I have hooked on the one, when you don't think they'll be up there. What I'm saying is they might be back in the deep pool in the creek right now or down deep in the lake. And here it's a man-made lake that I went to, so they mess with the lake all the time, So that's what I don't like about man-made lakes. But there is a pond there here in Smyrna, Tennessee, and I'm going to go check that out where they're captive, right there in that pond. And I'll go check that out. My sister says ice fishing. But there wasn't no ice. It was actually pretty nice. It was 55 degrees. But yes, will do that. I have gone out when it's icy. A good friend of mine, he was telling me at church the other day, and I've done it too. When it's spitting a little snow, the stripe will start hitting, So I ain't afraid of going when it's cold and fishing. Put on a good coat and go. I don't necessarily want to get out in the boat and go 55 miles an hour in the wind, but I do a lot of bank fishing. One of my friends said the best day, I had a boat for a few years and hardly used it. It was a friend of mine from Idaho, and I stored it for him. And but he was telling me that one of the best days of his life was when he got his boat, and the other best day of his life was when he got rid of it. So I like my bank fishing, always did, and getting to hike around. Miss Laurie building her little fire, having fun. But I have locked into them when you didn't think they'd be up on the shallow bank this time of year. And you just catch that one there, and you're in business, But anyhow, I'm glad everybody's here. I'm glad you guys are doing well. And we just trust in the good Lord for good things and every day He gives us. Enjoy coming to you guys on coffee time, and my good friends in England and Norway. We just appreciate y'all, Mr. Bob Vincent. We appreciate y'all so much, and Dee, his dear wife, and she is so kind to go on and give me reviews on Amazon, and we appreciate that stuff. That helps us with them, And Miss Gabriella LaFoley, hey, welcome in. We're just sitting here having a little coffee and talking with everybody. And my friend Ishikawa, Masahiro Ishikawa in Japan. He's such a great guy and a very talented man. He has a band in Japan. And good friends there in Norway, Miss Linda. And also Linda Wainwright. I'm doing good. Just getting your dinner across the pond. Yes, ma'am. You'd be 3 o'clock. And now in North Carolina, you'll get a kick out of this. Now they don't do that everywhere in America, but where I'm from in the mountains, dinner is lunch. It's noon. It's midday. The midday meal. And if you have lunch, So if you tell my stepdad over there in North Carolina. In Mount Airy, if you say, buddy, I'll see you at dinner. He ain't looking for you at 5 o'clock, 4, 5 o'clock. He's going to say, he thinks you're saying noon because it's dinner and supper is in the evening. But that's just funny, Now they don't do that everywhere here. They don't do that here in Tennessee where I'm at. They don't say that, if I tell somebody meet me at dinner, they would show up at 5 o'clock, you know. But that's what I love about all our countries and the differences, the different parts of our culture, the way we talk. I put a thing on Bill Cosby not long ago where he was talking to a lady from South Carolina, and it was just hilarious. Well, she talked so great. I love that. I love that talk, you know. And I also love my British friends. I love their talk. I always slide and Smithy when he was over here in America. We had fun, you know. Of course, he'd go in somewhere and he had that hello love going on with a girl, and I said, "Man, you better straighten up." You know? But he was single then. He was single. It's okay. But anyhow, I was just giving him a hard time, you know. And he'd say "hello love" to all the women, and of course they'd melt, you know, that British accent, you know. But we just love life and having fun. Love visiting with everybody. I'm in the mood this morning. I was thinking of some of the things I wrote a few years ago, Wayland's kind of stuff. Little Christopherson in them. I grew up on those guys. Came to Nashville in 71 as a kid for probably about, I guess, 6 weeks, whatever it was. Slept in my car. That was the time that Christopherson had been in Nashville, come in. He was actually in 71, he had gone out to Hollywood, you know. But it was that kind of time. And we wrote songs kind of like this. And this is a hopeful song. It's called Hookers and Hopefuls, Christians and Liars. It was that kind of time when you got waxed philosophical, you know. So I'll do it for you. Riding on the southbound plane to Miami, FLA. Stewardess pours my coffee and I'm trying to think of something cool to say. Short dress she's wearing catches my eye as she leaves. A little old lady across the aisle makes a silly grin at me. Are we just hookers and hopefuls and Christians and liars, busted down and never can be free? Are we just hookers and hopefuls and Christians and liars, never really knowing what to be? You can read it in your papers every morning of your life. Divorce rate, crime, recession, and everybody's rights. But people are all worried about some things all I've got to say. I keep telling myself there's gotta be a better way than being hookers and hopefuls, Christians and liars, busted down and never can be free. Are we just hookers and hopefuls, Christians and liars, never really knowing what to be? Riding on the southbound plane to Miami, FLA. That was kind of the 70s, you know. I think they wanted to be the 60s. We were all preaching a little bit, waxing philosophical. Like I said, I hope we got you to your hot tea. Have a spot of tea, as some of my friends over there across the pond say. And if you got tea or coffee, well, raise them up and thank the good Lord for another good day. May those coffee beans and tea keep it growing. Thank you, Miss Linda. And that was one of the songs that they sent to Wayland when I was all the years back when I first kind of got in touch with him. A friend that was in a group called Confederate Railroad, he knew those guys. and I was friends with them, and I hung out with the band some, knew them. I didn't hang out with Waylon. Wasn't a running buddy. That would have been great. I liked him. What little times we did talk, I was around him, I liked him. I liked him. He was a good guy, and he's a real deal. But what's he doing out there in Evansville, Indiana, playing music and stuff? Which I'd opened for him and Tom Paul Glacier. Tom Paul had that song, "Put Another Log on the Fire," in '76. We were playing there when Waylon and Tom Paul came in, but just briefly met stuff. But he said, "What you doing out there in a band, rolling around these, those kind of songs ought to be here, and right in here in town, So that was one of the reasons I finally moved on into town, Instead of staying in the Army, I was going to re-enlist and be a lifer again, like my daddy in the Army. And when they called from Loretta's office, I told my wife, I said, "Well, honey, how about let's go to Nashville and see if we can do that thing." God decided about that time, I don't know how you make money in music business, But anyhow, I had some other songs they liked. Morning, my brother Mark, he's over there on YouTube. I'm doing Facebook Live from my phone, and then I set my laptop up with and I set it up with on YouTube on my laptop. So that way there are folks that like YouTube, and there's folks that like Facebook. And so anyhow, another song that they liked when I came to town in '71, and I'd written this, Well, I actually, nope, I'm wrong. I wrote this song a couple years when I got out of the Army and went home to Mount Airy. I'd wrote this song, sent it off to the company I was writing for. But this was one of my cousin Billy told me this story, and Billy Alderman, called him Cotton, and I made a song out of it, and it made him happy that I, wrote. Called Mama and Papa. Papa went down to the liquor store. Mama went down to the Goodwill store. And I went down to the riverbank to cry and wonder why. Just a boy of 10 and Mama and Papa. Papa drank a lot sometimes. We'd all have to run and hide. I swore if he touched my mama, he would die. Oh, and I'd cry. Just a boy of 10, Mama and Papa. Up down to the liquor store. Mama went down to the and I went down to the riverbank to cry and wonder why. Just a boy of 10, Mama and Papa. Well, I remember the day my daddy died. Mama's heart was broke, oh how she cried. We walked through the snow, the Lord watched me laying down in the cold hard ground. Just a boy of 10 and Mama no Papa. Papa went down to the liquor store. Mama went down to the Goodwill store. Kind of a sad thing, but he told me that Cotton told me about my family. And I remember I had a friend in the 6th grade, and I carried my little New Testament, me and Ricky Easter. Ricky Easter, pastor now, back home. And I'm real proud of him. And we'd carry our little testaments. And my 6th grade teacher, Miss Harris, we had a kid in there that had a rough family life. And she knew that he talked to me. And thank you, Miss Linda. She likes that song. And I went out and found him. He was up on the bank. He wouldn't come into class. And he had a hard life. And I talked to him, give him hope, trying to talk to him. I was just a 6th grade kid, But I believed, and I believed in something above and something good, And I went out and talked to him, got him to come in the classroom and come on in. Mississippi, well, we're here today, Jim and Kathy Harrell, great state of Mississippi. And messaging my friend not long ago in Corinth, Mississippi. I went to the Bloody Pond there near Shiloh when I visited him. And we were there one day. They're supposed to have like 50 cannon lined up. I was just, oh man, I used to reenact Civil War battles, and I like to do that some more. I miss doing that. I still got my uniforms, stuff, some stuff I had, but this was back in the 80s and early 90s. But they were going to have 50 cannon or so, I think it was, just to shooting, and it was going to be an awesome day, Of course, we had a lot of fun with that, and Civil War reenactment. It's like playing a part of history, and you get out there and there's guys I know we were hitting up. I was in the gray uniform for that. And of course I had family on both sides anyway, the whole thing, everybody did. But we was going up the hill to the Sutler tent. My son was with me on one. He was about 10 or 11 years old, and I had to get him a good coat because it was, and he went with me on that reenactment, and he loved it. He had a ball, but I had to go buy him a coat, one of them wool Confederate coats, get on him. And because it turned real cold, it got down freezing and some sleet that night. But what was cool is that was just like the battle was that we were reenacting in Franklin. And I went up the hill, and of course the Yankee boys in the blue, they started playing Dixie for us, their band, So it was all a friendly and thing, having a good time. But back at Corinth, what I was going to tell you at Shiloh, it rained so hard that everybody got stuck in the mud, and we didn't get to have that. So I hope they'll sometime do that again, have that many cannon that are going to fire. I want to hear that. I'm just a big history buff. I set up scenes, with the toy soldier and stuff. That's a habit or a hobby, a habit and a hobby. I study a lot of history. I love history. Another song I was going to do y'all today. And like I said, I hope y'all doing good. Get a little more of this coffee beans here. I have to make another pot. You see, it's getting a little empty there. When I rattle it and come on, we'll have to redo that. Another song that went over on the tape Waylon heard was called "Another Thing Coming." I'd like to do this on the next album I do, good Lord willing. And maybe these songs, put them on there and go back and just pick up songs from when I was younger, a kid wrote them, But it's called "Another Thing Coming." I've been trying to tell you it's over. It's over, but you don't listen. You think everything's alright, but you got another thing coming. Baby, you got another thing coming tonight. I wouldn't want to hurt you too much. You don't listen. You think everything's alright, you got another thing coming. Yeah, you got another thing coming. Baby, you got another thing coming tonight. I've been trying to tell you it's over. It's over, but you don't listen. You think everything's alright, but you got another thing coming. Yeah, you got another thing coming. Well, you got another thing coming tonight. Yeah, you got another thing coming. Yeah, you got another thing coming. Yeah, you got another thing coming tonight. Yeah, another one of those that was a lot of fun. And, we cut that in a little studio years ago. So one guy manager got excited and wanted to try to get get me somewhere, in front of somebody with it and all, and stuff. So we put that on and a couple of these things. A lot of fun with it. Thankful. Thank you, Miss Linda. Yeah, I love that old beat. I love, of course, obviously Waylon Jennings. That's probably my favorite artist. A lot of times, him and Merle Haggard neck and neck. I tell you right now. And so, just having fun today. I hope you guys are good, and I hope it's good where you're at, and that you're enjoying life. And that things are good. We got. I want to tell you about this week. I was really pleased. They picked this up a while back, but I'm just told everybody, Barnes & Noble picked up 2 of my books in the Blue Mountain series, and that was really pleased with that. These books kind of go along with my music career. They tell the stories that spawned our people within the mountains that I come from, the mountain music and the mountain that we grew up with and the culture. And so I started out the stories my great-grandparents told me on the porch when I was a kid. Poppy Combs, we called him, and Papa Kirkman, we called them all Papa. And I want to be clear, none of my papas was drinking was in that song I wrote. That was a story told me by an alderman about somebody else in his family. And but no, our papas, they didn't do that. But we had, our papa that was my mom's dad was just one of the most wonderful, clean, good people you ever meet in your whole life. But anyhow, I soaked up all those stories, and I started books on them. They're called the Blue Mountain series. On Amazon, there's 6 of them now. I'm working on the 7th right now. It's going to be called Dry Bones Rattling. I'll say that real quick. Don't tell nobody it's title. But anyhow, I'm finishing it up. It'll be the 7th book in the Blue Mountain series. It's mountain stories, but we go around the world some, and some other little time travel thrown in, mountain men, Native Americans in the mountains, Cherokee, Choctaw, Chippewa, and so anyhow, I just had fun with it, and it was great that Barnes and Noble picked it up. You don't get to, anybody can publish on Amazon, whether y'all know that or not. You can put your books on Amazon, but you can't. No, just don't get on. You don't get on Barnes and Noble unless they want you. You don't get to submit stuff to them, and they have to choose it. How they found them and all. I'm just thank the good Lord. It was great. I just appreciate it so much, and hopefully that'll help us get the word out and get the books. I just want people to read them and enjoy the stories, and they're based on my own family stories I was told on the porch as a kid. And Tennessee, Bobby Joel Leck. All right. Welcome in, man. Says he loves it. Amazing, bro. Great. Love the guitar. Yeah, this is my guitar, man. And I've had it since I was a teen. And it's got the road mileage. Hopefully you can see, but it's got, kind of like Trigger Willie. I ain't playing Willie Nelson, but anyhow, it came off long ago when I was a kid, and I didn't put it back on. And I can see the times on the road, Travis Tritt, Confederate Railroad, John Michael Montgomery. I can see all the Loretta, all the times, on the road and on the road. When I look at it, that's the mileage, And pleasure to meet you, Mr. Bobby. And so anyhow, I can see Waylon those times, I remember the day I went to Waylon did a benefit on Murfreesboro Road in Nashville. Look up Mr. Daniel Johnson. That's a good man, a good friend. That song, so proud of that song. David, look up when everything looked bad. Look up, and but anyhow, I remember going to Waylon. When he had heard these songs I just played for you, and this was after I was in Nashville. And I'd gone through the studio. When I was at Loretta's, I had a bird's eye view of one of the main studios in town. And yes, ma'am, Miss Linda, it's 50, I hate to say 54 years old. I'm 25, but I've been playing this box many years. But Waylon was, he cut in the studio called Soundstage, and my window at Loretta Lynn's office, where my writer's room and studio looked right on, and I could ambush John Anderson, Garth, anybody. Garth wasn't out right when I'm talking about, but later. And I saw somebody said, Waylon's over. One day it was Hank Jr., and they told me, Hank's over there. You ought to get that Southern song that you got. But over there to him. And I took that to Hank, and he said, I'm hanging on to that. And so anyhow, the Waylon thing is I'd gone through the studio with like I said, I reenacted Civil War battles, and I had my long gray Confederate long coat on, and it's just a little blue. People don't understand they were just blue and gray, both the coats and everything, But anyhow, he was like, he loved all that war history and all history too, and he gave me the thumbs up when I walked by. He was over there. He's busy. I didn't bother him, and I left that song for him, when I'm. But anyhow, I went to see him play down on Murfreesboro Road for a benefit, and he was looking down at us, and of course I love that band. Oh my goodness, CoWBoy in there and stuff, and his steel guitar player, one of the greatest in the business, Mooney, not Loretta's husband. I'm talking about this was Mooney that played in the Waymores and Waylon's band. But he looked out and kind of had a smile on his face, like, what you doing down in the mud? And I was kind of like saying, well, I stand here listening to you. I ain't too many artists I go stand in the rain and mud, listen to it, sprinkling, And it was so great. There are so many great people that I got to know and meet now, and God's good to us to let us do what we love to do. All I ever tried to figure out was how I get to sit around and plunk on the guitar all day. And the Lord worked it out. Thank you, Miss Loretta. Thank you, Tree Publishing. Thank you, Sonny. Thank you, Sonny Music, Opryland, Acuff Rose, everybody. Keith Stigall, all you great people that made it so this old boy could do it for a living. And all the fans that bought the songs, it's what I like about you and all the stuff. Confederate Railroad, I got on their last album. It's a couple years old now, but it's called Lucky to Be Alive. And I got a song on there, and it was great to be in that. And Joel Lawson and Quicksilver, they put out another cut of Americana back 2016, and it was up for a Grammy, the album, not my song, but songs on there. So a lot of fun, just having fun, and I'm thankful, to get to do it, and I'm glad somebody thinks I'm good enough once in a while to do a song of mine. And beyond that, I just thank the good Lord and enjoying life and doing it myself. We'll let her go where she goes. But also, like I said, the Barnes and Noble picked up the book, Clinging to Dirt and Breathing Air. People used to ask me, they'd walk up and say, "How you doing, man? I ain't seen you in a while. How's it going?" I'd say, "Well, I'm still clinging to dirt and breathing air." And I guess I made it up. I don't remember hearing it anywhere. I just started saying it. And in my book, it's an old Rocky Mountain man that says it to the boy in the book, Clinging to Dirt and Breathing Air. And I made that the title, Clinging to Dirt and Breathing Air. And I wrote a song to go with it. So if they ever want to make a film out of it, I got the music. I got the song for it too. But one called Bear, the last book we put out, it's doing good. Appreciate everybody. It's had more reads on Kindle online than anything I ever had. So I'm going to start putting animals on the cover. I think that's the key, John Vance, my good friend there in Michigan, a great artist and singer, and got a good band, and they go out and perform. And appreciate you, man. Good morning. Hope you guys are enjoying your day and having a good time. We're just loving life and enjoying it. I was just glad to get to throw a line the other day for a minute. I hadn't got out and thrown a line since September. And that just, I'm telling you, that been too long. Just having fun whooping on the guitar. But so glad you guys joined us today. We're just looking forward to seeing the spring break. It won't be too long, I guess maybe we got another month of weather, but looking forward to that spring. And when it comes out, and I mean spring break, the weather, I don't mean down to the beach a bunch. I'm talking about fishing and hiking and camping and getting out. I will get out in the cold and build a fire. I got me a good stack back here toward the woods that I'll put up there, one day and fire up. It's a little snow falling. It'll be fun, man. Set my old CoWBoY coffee pot on there and make some campfire coffee. It just tastes outside, even if it's back in the woods behind the house. But I don't know what it is. One of our family members through marriage, Miss Monica Yatt, she was saying the other day to Lori, when she saw the picture of Lori building a little fire, she said, "Now get your campfire bacon going and your coffee." And I went, "Yeah, CoWBoY coffee, And Mr. John Vance, y'all remember his family. Say prayers for him this week. They'll all get better, get to feeling better, and we just want y'all to get well. And we believe in prayer. We believe in this ain't a religion show, but we do believe. We are believers, so we ain't scared or don't mind saying so. We're American. That's just American, as far as I'm concerned. And everybody, y'all pray for John Vance, his family, to all heal up. A lot of prayer needed for people to get on past this. I believe we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And Mr. Josiah, my great grandfather was Josiah. But Josie is one great musician, and we played together at church at times. And I always loved playing music with him. We hear alike. I know where he's going. He knows where I was going. And Josie's a great keyboardist and sings. And we just really appreciate him, man. You're so much. Kenny Badgett is on here this morning, brother. Welcome in, brother. But we just enjoying. Well, it was down in North Carolina, Lord, down with the tall tobacco grows, where the pine trees smell so sweet, and the dirty old lumber train whistle blows. Dixie Dan was a friend of mine. We were both young in those days. And that time before old man time came and took our youth away. Catching tadpoles in a mason jar, running round with June bugs on the string. All the days were long and hot. Life was not a complicated thing. Chasing chickens round a lumber yard, times were not so hard to stand. With the morning dew between our toes, we go fishing, me and Dixie Dan. Running through the native patch, looking for buried treasure by the road. We were cowboys in the backyard, riding an old dead log in a rodeo. Dixie Dan, let's go out, yeah. We'd both run barefoot across the fields, digging fish and worms in the riverbank, laid back listening to the wind. They carried Dixie Dan out in the yard, one of Papa's dirty factory working shirts. I sit on the back porch crying, Lord, my old heart hurt. We laid Dixie Dan on the sand bed by the river where we used to run and play. Oh, Dixie Dan, can't we ramble one more time before you go away? And Dixie Dan was the very best dog a young boy ever had. There's a song that everybody's enjoyed for a long time. Enjoyed doing that. We'll get to jamming out at the Bluebird or somewhere and do a real up tempo, and then just I'll do this on one guitar, and had fun with that. And I know Travis Tritt, I wanted him to cut it. When we wrote "Son of the New South" on the album plaque behind me up there for Country Club, and I wanted him to cut that on some of the next albums, and he went, "That's yours, man. That's your song." I went, "You the star. You want to selling millions. I'm selling tens of records, you know." But anyhow, he didn't do it. He loved it, but it was just so much fun. It's so much fun to do that song. It's a mixture of a story. I actually had an old log. It was a tree that had fallen in the backyard on Depot Street. We lived next to my papa, and there was this tree trunk that fell, and it had a top up here that looked like a horse head, and I would ride it like in a rodeo. So that's where all of those images are, right there off Depot Street, and the factory over there, the chicken. Miss Jones lived at the bottom of the hill, and she had some chickens, and they'd run around the bottom down there. All of that is real. The dog, not just one dog really, but several, and us decided Dixie Dan was a good name, and put all those things together in the story, you know. for it. And appreciate Travis. He put our song "Son of the New South" on a compilation a couple years ago called "Blue Collar Man," and so it was back out again. It was on his Country Club album, and you can get my new album called "Prodigal Son." The title cut, me and Travis wrote it together. Travis Tritt and I, called "Prodigal Son," the song, and it's that album is digitally available. I haven't made up CDs for it, but or had them made, but it's just out. It's a new one, and it's called "Prodigal Son," and it has two of the songs I wrote with Travis, the title cut "Prodigal Son" and "Son of the New South" that he had done on his Country Club album we wrote. I went walking into, we went to Hank Jr.'s birthday party celebration back in, this was 1990, right before before Travis cut the Country Club album as he was going in the studio. And I walked in and I'd had this idea, he was wanting somebody to bring him a Southern idea. Travis started out, actually, I'll tell you a little something that you might have read in interviews, but back then he wanted to be the Dwayne Allman of country music. He had his long hair and he was a Southern rocker, and he wanted to be a Southern rock kind of artist. And he told me one day, he said, "Man, I want to be the Dwayne Allman of country music, bring Southern rock." And the label didn't want to do that. They wanted to go another way, and he had helped me hold on. And that's it worked out great, But his image he wanted to be was a Southern rocker, kind of like Leonard Skinner and Hank Jr. and Charlie Daniels. But, he can croon, so that's what it took, and that, God bless him, it went great. But anyhow, I walked into it and told him, "Man, I got the idea. When you get back from this," he was about to go on the road, and I said, "When you get back, here's your idea." I said, "I'm a son of the New South, stepchild of Uncle Sam, baptized in 100 proof, and saved by the blood of the Lamb." So anyhow, he went, "Man, don't you dare write that with nobody till I get back to town next week." So he came back through and we wrote it, and he went right in and put it on his Country Club album. And so thank the good Lord above for all that, and it was fun. Miss Donnie Reb Nelson, I love you to death. I tell you, she's such a sweet lady and such a talent. And I met her, oh my goodness, we're only 20 years old, so it couldn't have been. I know Miss Donnie loves Southern rock because she is a Southern rocker. And she's done so many shows here and abroad for the troops, the military, and we appreciate that so much. It means so much to me that you bring entertainment to my brothers and sisters in uniform. When I was in uniform, it was so great. Love you too, Miss Donnie, brother and sister Donnie. But she would come over. This one band would come over when I was deployed, and they would play. And that, it doesn't get, that's just, you appreciate them so much because you're far away from home. And they were called New Dawn, and they were a British group, and they were just such great people and such fun band. They played things like, right out when they got there was when I had met my future wife, Miss Laurie, and we were dating a little, and went down to the place where they was playing for us in the military club there, the restaurant club, and they played on the stage in there. Became that My Girl, and she could dance wonderful. She won, even at 40 years old on a cruise, she won the twist contest. But I don't dance. I don't dance. So anyhow, I got one. She's telling you one step, and went to My Girl. We'd dance. She said I had the penguin step, and I don't know, musicians and players. A lot of us don't dance, But anyhow, it's just funny. That's kind of our song from when we was dating, My Girl, and enjoyed that. And we just appreciate the good Lord letting us do what we do, and blessing all of you. There's a good lick from my brother there, John Vance. Come on. So anyway, maybe I ought to rock something off after a while. And I appreciate you, Mr. Bobby, that you like that song. It's been a fun song. Alan Jackson took Dixie Dan home several years ago, and he's never done it. But I wrote for a company there with him and his producer. I didn't write for him. We had a co-deal together. Steve Keith produced all of Alan's albums, except for one that he went and did with somebody just once as a special project. But all those hits you got on Alan Jackson, Keith Stegall is the producer. Keith's also a writer. Keith's a great person too. Keith Stegall wrote that big pop hit many years ago called "We're in This Love Together," but he's written many country things, I Hate Everything. I mean, he's had some great songs. But we had a Christmas party for the company. I was writing with Stegall music, and all their song music was together. And I went in, and of course Alan was there, and it was a nice night because Alan said that our song Americana was a great song, and that coming from him, he's a great songwriter. I don't know I'm in his league, and I'll tell you what, I appreciated his compliment on our song Americana that Mo Bandy had a hit on, And anyhow, I did Dixie Dan, and him and Keith come up with tears in their eyes. It's the stage where, different writers, we got up and did our songs, just for fun, kicks, grins. And he said, that's one of the greatest songs I ever heard, Dixie Dan. And I thought, he took it home, and I thought, man, yes. So Keith, and if you watch this, and Alan, tell Alan that, it's all right. You can cut it today, And Mr. Bobby says he knew Charlie Craig. I saw Charlie Craig out at the office. He would come see Bob Stegall. I worked with Bob, Mr. Bob. The late Bob Stegall was a great Texas artist in Western swing when he was a kid, and he played steel for Johnny Horton, and that's Keith Stegall's father. And when I rode over there, co-deal, kind of him and Keith had a company, and I was co-deal with them. And great people, wonderful people. Charlie was a great guy. And Douglas Corner was my place. That was my hangout. I'm so sick that COVID and the mayor of Nashville killed it. I ain't just say what the truth is and just say it. But anyhow, Douglas Corner and Mervyn, what a great place. Mervyn would let me hang up the Confederate flag and the Native American flag and stuff and do shows in Douglas Corner. He was from Mississippi, but we wasn't doing no show about no hatred. It was about cotton fields and home and tobacco fields and Southern way of living and hospitality. And I just loved doing those shows, and Mervyn let me do it. And we had, oh Lord, one night I didn't really want to be an artist. I like writing, and I never did want to. I just don't care to tour and be on stage. It ain't my thing. What I wanted to do, I wanted to write and pluck a guitar and go fishing. Fishing. And so they had 3 labels interested in me, and they brought them to Douglas Corner. And I pulled up in my truck, rusty old pickup truck, and there was a Maserati and I don't know, other sports car, and they had all this high-powered attorney was working with me, and he had all these high guys down there from, I don't know if it's high, you know what I'm saying, high up in the attorney representative field and MCA, Warner Brothers, Giant Records, all that, and they tried to give me a deal on Giant that night, but he wanted me to change everything I was doing, and he said, well, I ain't gonna ask him because he ain't gonna do it. But I didn't really want to go do that. But there they were, and I got up on stage, and we were playing, and I didn't realize, the little Confederate flag, you could see it through the window. And so this big black guy walks in, and I got to tell you, one of my biggest fans was Miss Willie. She worked at MCA, and she would ride a Metro bus to come to Douglas Corner or the Cannery and see me play. And she's such a sweetheart and a good friend. And they knew it wasn't racism. It wasn't something about nothing that. The flag was just our background of our hospitality and Southern cooking and Southern living. And she would come. She was sitting there in the show. Well, this guy, he came in and he stood in front of the stage, and I didn't see him at first. You got the lights in your face, and I noticed everybody in the front kind of got quiet on me, and I was like, what's the matter with him? What I do? Looking around, what I do? And then I saw him standing. Then he stepped over, and I saw him, and that man nodded my head at him, and I was doing a song called Redneck White Boy with the Blues. The Redneck White Boy with the Blues, kind of a Hank Jr. kind of thing. And I wrote with Rich Fagan. And anyhow, when he heard what I was singing about, there's no whippoorwill to hear, and the sirens go all night. And when he heard what I was saying, he went, yeah, and everybody relaxed, because he saw what we was doing, and we was singing the blues, and we were good people, and so it was just a great thing, That's kind of like contact. Hey, we're brothers, and we all are with skin color. What's that? God created everybody. My grandma told me when I was a kid, she had her and some little black ladies checked on each other to see if they're still living into their 90s. And when I was a little boy, we used to go. There was a church that some of the black folk would come visit our church, and then sometimes we go visit them. And I'm telling you something, when those black ladies was cooking, and we went to Veterans Park, it was called, and one day they was there, and our church was there, and we did mix, the day. And I know I went with my papa up to their church one time, and some of them. And I'm telling you what, part of the reason I probably got a weight problem today is eating them little black ladies cooking. I'm gonna tell you right now. And when I see they got a barbecue truck sits up here near us on the corner, part of the year, and it's a great gentleman in there cooking. And when I saw he was a black gentleman, I told him we pulling in, and you talk about some good barbecue. So anyhow. We all bleed red. My brother's in the Army. When I enlisted during NAM, I didn't go to NAM. He sent me to the Middle East. I volunteered for it. They didn't send me there. And the boys that was drafted and didn't want to go, they sent them. And I figured that out. But it was about over when I went in, by 72 when I got out. Not over, but ending, and they didn't send as many people. They sent me to the Middle East. But when I enlisted, one of my best friends in the Middle East, and we got hit with what you call terrorists. Not war, not battles, But some things were done, and my wife remembers right before I got there, they blew up one of our facilities or hit it. But anyhow, those things went on. But my best friend that roomed with me was Wild Bill Hubbard from Florida, great black African American gentleman, and my friend, he had my back over there, And God took care of us when we get out. Run around places. They said, don't go to Gypsy Village, and that's the first place we went. That's where the bad guy was. But, thank God for prayers all the way back across the world. Protected us when we was being dumb and young, tempting fate. So, anyhow. But appreciate you guys. I've enjoyed visiting with you, and every Thursday morning, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock in the great UK over in England, sunny old England, and 4 o'clock in Norway, my good friends there, and Alion Nessman, and anyhow, and my good friend Ishikawa in Japan. Well, it's almost midnight there, and he comes on and watches sometimes. He's up late. He's a night owl, and he's got a great bluegrass band. He's a bluegrass in Japan, and they could step up over in Surrey County, North Carolina, on any festival over the mountain, up on the mountain. They've got a great amphitheater where they do one of the biggest bluegrass festivals there is, and it used to be called Galax Festival, Galax Bluegrass, and his band could step up there and rock right in there with anybody else. They're such great. They actually won the bluegrass title in Korea. They actually have bluegrass fiddling conventions and contests in Korea for that region, and they went there and they won it. So anyhow, appreciate all you guys, and Mr. Bobby, y'all have a great day. Yep, we can talk, man. You can contact me on here, friend me, whatever, and we'll talk. It sounds like you know some people I know, and life's good, man. Life is good, and appreciate you guys. And Gary Jett, my Army buddy, appreciate you, man. He was deployed with us over there, and we appreciate you, man. And nothing ever goes away with your brother. It never changes. Once you're in uniform together, your brothers for life and forever, eternity. So you guys have a great day. We're going to wrap her up here. Cowboy coffee time. It's cowboy coffee time. Cowboy coffee time. Yodeling, yodeling, yodeling. Cowboy coffee time. Y'all come on back next week. We'll see you then. Have a good one. And I'm going to hit the finish button there. And in the stream here, you guys have a great day. God bless you.